in Orlando. On the left, we have 5-color Haven. Is that the Haven that Evan and I both said in our set review that it was just absolutely unplayable?
Verdant Haven?
Yes, that's it.
4 of them.
All right, well, let's see. Sylvan Primordial. Now, what are we blowing up with Sylvan Primordial? What does that card actually do?
That one can blow up a non-creature permanent, I'm fairly sure. So
yes.
It can kill all non-creature permanents and it does something else. So I think it lets you search for a land, too. I've not actually got to cast this one off and eliminate.
I don't think it lets you search for land. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it does. Oh, you search for a forest.
You search for a forest and kill something?
Kill a
that is so cool.
And then we have Josh Martinez on our right, boring old Josh with his blue, white, red flash deck. This is very akin, again, to the Jonathan Job school of thought here that we saw last week, and a lot of counter magic with Essence Scatters, counter fluxes, 2 of each of those in the main deck. He has 2 rewinds as well, and then he has 3 Restoration Angels, 3 Augur Balls, 3 Snapcaster, and 2 Aurelios. So his deck is not all that exciting, but as you have your hands covering your mouth right now, what's exciting you?
All right, there's 2 amazing things about this deck. One is he's running a Shimmer Grotto. He is my homeboy. I'm going to give Chris a hug, so after we're done with this match, I might disappear for a couple minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a hug. He's the only other person that respects that card, and I respect that card. But he has 4 Abundant Growths in his sideboard.
Excuse me?
To go with his Sphere of Safety and his Slaughter Games.
He's getting down.
Yeah.
He's getting dirty. All right, Glenn, good work.
Yes, congratulations, sir.
Glenjamin Jones, as we're going to see, I think, twice here from Josh on the end step. He'll draw a card. He's going to draw another one here. Sacred Foundry, the draw there. We're going to see a Sulfur Falls and passing the turn back.
So he can think once again.
He also does have a couple copies of Counterflux in his hand. We are just getting an update here that Chris on the left did take a mulligan of 6. He looks to be doing just fine. So we're going to see a Verdant Haven here on the forest.
What does this do?
And as he's going to let Josh read it, we're going to pull up on the screen for you guys. As Brad and Evan did call this unplayable, and to that I say, ha!
Well, he still has to win. And I think he will. Because this probably is a good matchup.
Limited, I want to call it a Limit All-Star, but I don't even know if that's true, as we are going to see a Ground Seal here as well, so it's going to make those Snapcaster Mages look a little bit worse.
See, I don't get why he's playing Verdant Haven and Ground Seal. I guess he's just running 1. I want more spheres in the sideboard, man.
You want to feel safe?
Yeah, alright, so that got Counterflux. He's like, no, I like my Snapcaster Mages. Those are my homeboys. We're playing with those.
I want something to do with those Snapcaster Mages, so Counterflux will take care of the Ground Seal. You're going to see Josh play a Sacred Foundry, and he's just going to pass the turn back. He has another Counterflux in his hand for this turn.
We can both agree we're not blue mages, but do you think...
How dare you?
Do you think Counterflux... Alright, Staff of Nin is a big game.
Yeah, that's going to be
But we do have another Counterflux. Do you think Counterflux is better right now than Dissipate? I think Dissipate feels better against the Reanimator decks than the Counterflux does in the mirror matches.
I think the Dissipate is a much more important card right now. We saw this actually last weekend as well when Jonathan Joe was playing against Will Craddock in the finals, where, you know, he did draw 2 copies of Counterflux, and had those been Dissipates, he would have certainly won game 1.
Dude.
As he did a Dissipate plus Snapcaster Dissipate, or he did a Counterflux and Snapcaster Counterflux, and then Burial Rites was just turned on, and it just ended up winning the game. So I think that that's a big deal, as we're going to see a Think Twice get flashback here. Josh increasing the velocity of his deck right now so that he can hit his land drops, find his relevant cards to try to get this game over with as he plays Glacial Fortress and passes the turn back.
And that Lighthouse is going to give him a lot of card selection, as Chris is just off the top trying to find Sphinx's Revelation, trying to find Sylvan Primordial, trying to find his last Staff of Nin.
And he does just play a Hallowed Fountain, passes the turn back. We're going to see Josh activate the Desolate Lighthouse. A card we'll bring up on screen for you guys. One of those Innistrad lands that, you know, they're all pretty good lands outside of maybe the Grim Backwoods. I don't want to talk too much trash about that card, but it is kind of a stinker. But yeah, I think when we first saw Desolate Lighthouse, Brad, I thought this is a card that we thought would see a little bit more play than it has.
Well, especially what
powerful.
Christian Calcano got to do with that thing at GP Minneapolis.
Yeah, buddy.
The reason that he met me in the finals of that tournament was because he had 1 Bonfire and 1 Lighthouse in his deck. He drew Lighthouse, activated it during his opponent's turn, hit Bonfire, killed his opponent's board, and then won the game.
It's a tough way to go out.
Yeah, and then smashed me too. Beat Raptor twice in that tournament. I think he's the only person to ever hold that title.
Beat Josh Layton twice in the tournament? That can't be done. I don't believe it.
No, I agree.
As you're going to see Josh take a look at one of those other Innistrad lands, the Alchemist Refuge, a card that Reed Duke used to a lot of success. That's for darn sure, playing the old ban control deck, being able to give your non-land cards flash until end of turn.
He popularized that, but yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Chris now. Josh already has a counterspell and a Snapcaster Mage with the Lighthouse to get rid of all those removal spells, waiting to find a Sphinx's Revelation. All right, there it is.
There is the Sylvan Primordial, card that we are bringing up on the screen for you guys.
In a deck with,
Josh is going to take a look.
In a deck with Chromatic Lantern, Verdant Haven, Farseek, don't you just run 4 Caverns. Like, isn't this a card you just want to
You just
resolve?
want to push this through from Evil
Yeah.
Titan style. It's hard to disagree with you, and it is on the stack right now, so we'll see if Josh even cares about this, if he's going to cast the Rewind, if he's going to Snapcaster Mage, what route is he going to take?
Oh,
It
so
looks
if you
like we're
don't
gonna see
actually get to
Snapcaster.
destroy a permanent, you don't get the forest?
That's correct.
Aww.
Sad Primordial.
Yeah, very sad. He looks sad in the graveyard.
And so we're going to see Counterflux take care of that.
You can
And
always
you
hit
can-
a land?
Well, you can destroy a land with it.
Well,
Destroy
no. But if somebody like did something with destroying that land or got that land out of the way,
Yeah.
if he dazed the non-spell on the stack.
Ah, yes. A little touch of legacy in there. Snapcaster Mage is coming across for 2. Going to knock Chris down to 20. Negate that Verdant Haven life gain.
See, it's terrible.
We'll see if Josh is going to cast the Augur of Bolas that's in his hand, and he is. So
Digging
Augur of
for a
Bolas,
rev.
a card that last weekend put 3 cards on the bottom every single time. And it's off to a nice start this week as well. That's 3 straight to the bottom.
I don't like the swings that Blitz has, but I don't get how those blue-white players like the swings of the Augur.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I've only played Augur of Bolas once in my life, and every time I put 3 cards to the bottom, I wanted to beat somebody up.
I've had matches where, oh, he shocked himself. Is he?
Maybe a little refuge action.
We're gonna get a refuge action. I don't know which refuge card. Oh no, yeah, he can Terminus. He's going to try to Terminus.
So here come these guys. We're going to see Alchemist Refuge be activated, and now a
Ignoring
Terminus.
his opponent's ability of Stifle.
No fear.
No fear of the Stifle.
We'll see if Josh cares about this, as he does have a Rewind in his hand. And he said, all right, Snapcaster Mage and Augur can go to the bottom along with those 3 cards from the Augur as well, right where they belong.
No, he's like, I have a fistful of cards. I think this game I'm going to kill you with the, or does he not even have it?
Which
Oh,
card are you
yeah.
looking for?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I forgot. He doesn't have any Boros Reckoner, so he does not have the,
He's going
fire.
Aurelius style, as Jonathan Job did last week, and he's also going to cast the first half of a Think Twice here. And he's going to draw exactly that, Aurelia the War Leader. And we'll see if he wants to pull the trigger on this turn, or just kind of set up some more and maybe activate those lighthouses and all that good stuff. And we're going to see Josh cycle an Azorius Charm here. He draws a Steam Vents off of that.
All right, so
Untap, upkeep, draw step will reveal an island.
yeah, and because of his fear of Sphinx's Revelation and the refuge, he's not going to be using that Desolate Lighthouse. He's just going to keep drawing cards.
And he is going to play rather conservative here, as Chris does actually have a Sphinx Revelation in his hand. Makes you wonder if Josh identified that this deck does have that, as he's going to flash back, I think, twice here on Chris's end step, draw into a Hollow Fountain.
If I had to guess what Josh is thinking, he's like, my opponent just played Sylvan Primordial. I'm not tapping out.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this guy could do to me.
I'm not casting this Aurelia until I feel that it's super safe to be able to do so. And
Yes.
you see him tapping 4 mana right now. Make it 5, make it 6. So he is representing the Rewind right now. And we are going to see, as Josh does, check his mana very
The
quickly.
most powerful 3/4 ever printed.
Now, that's a bold claim. I need to think of some 3/4s in my head right now. But
Serrated Ifrit.
Stirring Wildwood.
That's a land, sir.
That's a 3/4. Andy Red
Debate.
Brushhopper would maybe like to have a word with you.
And what?
Yeah, that's right. Supreme Verdict through the old Alchemist Refuge. You can have Rewind all you want, Josh, but that thing is going bye-bye. So you see Alchemist Refuge actually playing a pretty important role in this game, as Chris is going to untap and draw. See, 2 copies of
Thragtusk.
Terminus in his hand. He does draw a Thragtusk and has a Sphinx Revelation as well. And he has no reason here to move on Josh's main, to move on his own main phase.
Yes. Now I feel like this is going to be one of those crucial turns. Like if he lets that, like if he counters the Strike Tusk or not. Now I'm assuming he's not going to, but sometimes players just get annoyed and they're like, oh, whatever. I'll counter it.
You see Josh move through his hand here. See if he cares about it, and he says, no, that's fine. You can go to 25 and have a 5/3. I can take care of that eventually.
He does have the Revelation in hand.
And so in for 5 comes Thragtusk. So Josh's life total he's going to begin to use as a resource here. Going to move down to 15 on a quote-unquote 3-turn clock. He's actually down to 23 here, as we did miss a shock land point of damage. But our life totals are correct now, as Josh does draw a Restoration Angel for the turn.
Oh,
Or
no,
for the lighthouse
for the end of
activation.
the end of turn draw step.
So Josh will discard a Pillar of Flame, and you're going to see if he's going to pull the trigger on anything this turn. As he does have an Azorius Charm that he can cycle. He can also just play a Restoration Angel. Won't get a lot of value or anything, but he can just put a 3/4 on the battlefield. but he's going to elect not to. He does draw a Sulfur Falls and does just pass the turn back. So playing very conservatively right now.
Yeah,
Is this
I
something
think-
that you do agree with?
I do agree with this because your opponent, well, and now he just ripped back-to-back Thritus, which is really powerful. But you do have the Sphinx's Rev. You don't know what's in your opponent's deck, and you do have the rewind. Like, I don't mind taking time here. Like, this turn you can pull the trigger for 5 cards and keep rewind up, and that's plenty of cards. You don't need to draw 9 right now. All you really want to do is try to find more ways to take over the game. But yeah, he doesn't have a ton of pressure points. What do we just do?
Bonfire of the Damned off of the top here for Chris. So now, Josh was using his life total as a resource, playing very cautiously, playing very conservatively, and this is going to force Josh to actually finally do something, make a move, use that rewind, which he's going to do on that Bonfire of the Damned being miracled. And now here come the Thragtusk. So is Josh come from moving down to 5 life and then maybe blowing that Revelation
Yeah,
for
back
9?
up to 14.
Yeah, I think he probably is.
Yeah, I think you're okay with that. And then you'd spend half of your mana next turn and like 4 cards, just 4 for 2 in yourself on the Thragtusks.
So you're going to see him tap all that mana.
So you've done this before, right?
What's that?
Done this this Sphinx for like a million cards.
No.
It never once.
My goal is to never do it.
Yo, okay? I was with you, and then I played FNM. I just played blue, white, red because I had it, and you just have to do this once. It feels so good to go rev for 5, rev for 10, snap rev for 7.
See, I get no enjoyment out of that, honestly. So I'm a weird guy. I don't, drawing a bunch of cards, gaining a bunch of life, and making it that my opponent can't win.
I agree.
Not enjoyable at all.
Well, what's enjoyable to you?
I really like to eke out some difficult wins with a linear.
But that's what I mean. Like,
deck.
I agree, and you'll take comfort in this. I promise you.
The most card drawing I'll do, Brad, I like to suspend Aeon Chronicler. Back in the day, the 2000, maybe like 2007, 2008 days. Dude, that's about the only X-Blue spell I'm going to play.
That's when I went Moto Rich.
Me too.
Yeah, with Time Spiral block.
Yeah, Solar Flare, baby.
I couldn't lose limited, block, standard. Like,
that's the way that, a lot of cards I'll draw. But I'll draw a second card a turn. I'm okay with that. But drawing like 7 cards in one turn, that's for some people. Not for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I like the fair way. I like the arena way.
That's right. As we're going to see Josh tap some mana on his main phase here. We'll see what he's going to set up. As Chris says, man, the world's your oyster. Do your worst. I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
You can see Josh is just looking at the board state, wants to get life totals correct, all that good stuff.
More cards in hand than in deck.
Yeah. We see him organizing his lands here. So we're probably going to see at least one Supreme Verdict cast this turn. Not sure all of the contents of Josh's hand. As you see, he does have a metric ton of cards over there.
Yeah.
So now it's all about, just kind of stabilizing, get those Thragtusts off the board, and all that good stuff here. So
Who has to stabilize?
well, I mean, they're and we are getting a radio in here. Our spotter and our judge there are just checking something, so the game is going to be on a momentary pause. But as far as stabilization is concerned, I mean, Josh is behind on the board. Obviously, has more cards and all that stuff, but he is quote unquote behind on the board. So he does want to not be behind on the board.
But if he does sacrifice 1/5 of his hand, he will deal with 2 Thragtusts successfully.
That is true. That is true. So Thragtusk can be a pain in the butt to deal with, but Josh does have the necessary resources to be able to do that. But
do you have 4 spears? Well, actually, I think I do.
yeah, I have all of the spears. So you see Josh reorganizing all his land here, putting his blue-red lands together, his white-blue lands together.
Keeping it organized.
Yeah, just wants to know what he has access to. Doesn't want to make a blunder if he doesn't need to. So
Let's see if we find 5 of a land. Let's just see if we can.
I see 7 Sulfur Falls. Unbelievable.
We can actually just like run. What is my favorite game is the commentator DQ or the commentator game loss. It's like, is his lands correct? I got a game loss for this once because I put the wrong card in my sideboard.
Oops.
I said the wrong card, or like I wrote the wrong card, and the commentator's like, that's not that.
Hey, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. We had someone do it on one of the shows I've done. He had island written down on his deck list, and it was a snow-covered island.
Do we know how many cards are in Chris's season?
Do we have any cards in Chris's
I mean,
game?
I just remember Sphinx's Rev Terminus.
Yeah, I don't.
And then I thought he just like drew double Thragtusk and then Miracle the Bonfire.
Yeah, that's all I recall as well. So
I don't think a guy playing 5-color Haven is going to try to draw extras.
I'm with you.
Yeah, like
I'm with you.
it might be Jund, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna play. Just gonna sit there and play an honest game.
yeah.
Looks like we're all good to go. We've got the green light, and it is go time back here during round 3, Game 1, Star City Games Open Series here in Orlando. Supreme Verdict going to take care of the front half of those Thraktus. Beast tokens will be joining us in just a moment here.
Are they me?
They are not you. They are Dice. Unless you are Dice all of a sudden.
I don't think so. I might be Dice with sleeves, though.
And I promise in a moment we're going to get real Beast tokens out there so we can have an accurate game state for you, unless Josh is going to take care of those right away.
Wait, so we don't use my tokens for beasts?
No, we do not.
This is I'm so mad right now.
It's not something we want you to take personal.
But I'm going to actually take that personally.
This is you taking it personally. Yeah. And there are Beast tokens that are not Brad Nelson in the house.
Oh no, those are mine.
Oh, are those you?
Yeah, that's
I get
back when I
easily.
didn't shave.
Oh, okay. I get confused easily.
Yeah.
And by shave you mean your entire body or just your face? Or...
Well, I do have clothes on. We can't really discuss this.
And thank God for that, as we are going to see Searing Spear take care of the Beast token. I think we might see a little Snapcaster Mage action here. Maybe not. We'll see exactly what Josh wants to do. Again, using his life total as a resource and using those extra cards in his hand as well as he's organizing
it's such a
what
tough,
he wants to discard.
First world problems, my friend. What? I had to discard so many cards.
I know. See, one of the things about the Blue Red Flash deck, and Jonathan Job's match in his quarterfinals, particularly Game 2 of the quarterfinals last weekend of the semifinals, was a perfect example of using your life total as a resource. Many turns in the game with the Blue Red Flash deck, Brad. He was at 1 life, was able to not go to 0, obviously, and won a game that was very drawn out. And I think that's one of the things that the Blue White Red deck does very well. It just does have to use its life total as a resource, so it can get all those cards out of its hand and eventually win the game.
I want to take one quick note that after Josh Sphinx for 9 and drew a card, so 10 total cards went into his hand, he went to his discard phase, discarded only 1 land, and has none in hand.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
As we're going to see Restoration Angel here look to jump the Beast.
I do not like that. This is an opening. This is a big opening because I do not think he has a counter spell. I think he should have just taken it so he could hold up a counter magic. I think this is the turn where Chris is like, I just have to go for it.
Yeah, does he go for the Revelation here?
Yeah.
He is going to tap a bunch of mana.
And now we've got a game.
It's time for more magic.
Yeah, that was a big blunder. I think you just take it, go to 11, you have 7 cards in hand, you hold up the counter spell.
Yeah, be able to counterflux that Revelation.
I find most of the games in this, the only way that Blue White Red loses these games is when they play poorly when they're ahead. Now that's like one of the biggest things that that players should be concerned about when they're getting into competitive Magic. A lot of times you'll play very tight when you're behind because you have limited options, but when you have a lot of options, that's actually when you need to learn to play the best Magic you can. Because right there, that was just a blunder. Oh, I'm way ahead, I feel good, I've got all these cards, and all of a sudden we've got a game again.
So Josh is going to untap, he's going to draw, we're probably going to start this turn with an attack with Restoration Angel. It's going to knock Chris down to 32, so a long way to go here. As you see Essence Scatter in Josh's hand among a couple copies of Restoration Angels. He's got Azorius Charms. So he's got some ways to increase the velocity in his deck and a little bit of counter magic, but one card you do see in Chris's hand, Brad, I believe,
is a Shimmering Grotto. Shimmering Grotto. Now, the reason that I like this card, some people at home are like, oh man, I've been playing like these Blitz and these junk decks from Brad, but I don't have premium. This is actually how he sounds.
Yep.
But like the reason I liked it was back in the Reanimator decks with Tomorrow Stage, it let your Avacyn's Pilgrims tap for colored mana, which was important. It was a fixer that also got to filter through Avacyn's mana, because like there's not a lot of things you can do with that Pilgrim mana.
Sure. Makes sense. It is a card when there are, Gilded Gates Legal and all these dual lands and your M12 lands or what have you. There's so much color fixing available that people would wonder why on earth would I play Shimmering Grotto, but there are some things associated to it that do make it worth actually playing. As we are going to see Restoration will come across.
Flashing in a Verdant Haven. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, I love it.
Brad can barely control his excitement, and now we are going to be casting a Terminus as well. So down goes Restoration Angel and +2 life there for Chris. So
that is awesome.
That is not bad. Yeah. That is not bad. I have to give it to you.
For the Mad XL, oh. Beautiful.
Now, post-combat, we'll see Azorius Charm cycle here. It's going to draw Josh a Clifftop Retreat. He's going to play his land, and he's going to say go. So, 7 cards here. and a bevy of options. But he does have to whittle away at those 37 life points, as Chris is going to draw a card. He draws a Sylvan Primordial.
How good would Cavernous Souls be in this deck?
It would be very good. That's actually what I thought the Shimmering Grotto was there for a second.
Yeah. No, there's no Cavernous Souls in his list. He has 1 Refuge and 1 Wolf Run, and 3 Drown Yards.
He's got a couple colorless lands in his deck.
Let's you know how good that card's going to be in a couple turns here?
Yeah, if he's able to find one, he can start to accelerate the clock, start attacking Josh's deck instead of his life.
There might be more to this deck than we thought.
That's true. Verdant Haven.
Look at how this game's
Verdant
playing
Haven,
out.
the straw that stirs the drink, as Patrick Sullivan would say.
We also have 4 Chromatic Lanterns that do the same businessing.
The same stirring.
Yeah.
As Josh is going to activate the Desolate Lighthouse here on the end step, he's going to discard Nest and Scatter.
Uh-oh, that is...
Seems Cyclone Azorius Charm here. Going to draw a new Augur of Bolas.
I do like Refuge against... I mean, this deck is not Flash anymore, right? It's not really. It's just the name we call it.
Yeah, it's just kind of what it's kind of what it's deemed. As we're going to see Augur of Bolas is going to put 3 more to the bottom. Dun dun dun. Oh,
No,
I
we
see
got
a
a spear.
Searing Spear.
But I do love that the 5-color deck on the left has more capabilities of flashing things in than the Flash deck.
Yes. It has gotten to that point where this is more of a blue-white-red main phase mid-range deck.
Yeah.
We're going to see Alchemist Refuge be activated here. And there is our Sylvan Primordial trying to come down to the end step.
Josh is like, why did I discard that Scatter?
Yeah, I kind of wish I had that Scatter. And there's a Primordial on the
there's
screen for you
another
guys. But a second Scatter here from Josh will take care of that. And now we're going to see a Farseek as well. Remember that the Alchemist Refuge just lets you play multiple spells. They all get flash.
Yeah, for the rest of the turn.
And again, this is a card that you saw Reed Duke have a ton of success with, kind of innovated by Andrew Cuneo. Cuneo, a lover of do-nothing control decks that are based around
like the
Wrath of God and blue cards.
I feel like the first time this ever saw play was Travis Wu, wasn't it?
That's likely. This is a very Travis Wu card.
Yeah, in Crater Fire Wolf Thrag stuff things.
Yes.
That's the title?
That is the exact deck name.
Yes.
I think his deck was called Omni Thragdor.
No, Omnitusk Thragfire.
Ah, yes. My apologies. I should have known better.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid. As Chris is going to untap and draw here, you see another Farseek in his hand, and a couple of spells over there. Restoration Angel, as Josh is going to spear upstairs. Brought at least 1 spear with him.
Yeah, he gets a little bit less than 10% of his life total there. Oh, Omnidor Thragfire, yeah.
Everyone knows that.
So yeah, everyone does.
Common question. Might be a trivia question later today, so keep that on the top of your mind. We try to ask easy ones. That'll be a little bit more difficult, as Josh is going to serve it up with the Augur of Bolas. And Chris says, all right, I'll go to 30. I don't mind. And Josh is just going to pass the turn back with, Snapcaster Mage, Restoration Angels, access to some counter spells in the graveyard, and we're going to see a Chromatic Lantern here.
We're going to see another Chromatic. I don't know, what's he doing out of the graveyard?
Oh, searching the graveyard. Interesting.
Is it just a ploy? I don't think so. What does he have for a graveyard card? He doesn't have a graveyard card. He's just bluffing.
Farseek.
Oh, he's checking to make sure he has lands? Because he does have an abnormal amount of force in his deck. He only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He only has 7 things to get with Farseek.
Okay. Well, certainly making sure as he does search for a Temple Garden there. And see if he's going to play anything on the end step. He does have a Restoration in his hand, does Chris.
I would rather wait for the 3rd Sylvan or something. I don't know. I don't think I would play the resto because I don't think Chris is going to try to aggro him out. I think he wants to try to find that Drown Yard. That Josh is going to be like, really?
Yeah.
Like you have these?
Chris is going to.
Oh, and I think Josh is. They're probably starting to talk about time.
Yeah. Chris is going to take a draw step, and he's just going to pass the turn back. And Josh is going to cast a Snapcaster Mage. He's going to Searing Spear upstairs. So Josh is trying to get this game over with pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And again, because
and he knows the strength of Supreme Verdict, Alchemist Refuge. That's the reason.
And again, he does have Restoration Angels in his hand, so you see him spearing Chris here. It might look a little bit dubious, but because he can cast Restoration Angel and blink a counter spell, he's actually okay. You see he's going to cast Restoration Angel now.
I think this is a good turn to pull the trigger.
Getting a little bit aggressive here is Martinez.
Yeah. I want him to pull the trigger right now.
You want to see a refuge push through that supreme verdict?
In response. Yeah, he's just going to...
So, he's going to let that resolve. He's going to let the Series Spirit go upstairs. Chris is going to go down to 24. Josh is going to untap. He's going to draw. And he's going to send on in.
Yeah, see, it just cost him 3 life.
So you're going to see a refuge activation.
Bait out a counterspell with a Terminus. I don't mind that.
Yeah, as long as he has enough mana, that's plenty good.
Yeah, he's just going to go Terminus. That if it gets countered, then he got him to counter a Terminus.
Yeah.
And then we just get to Supreme Verdict.
So here is what Brad predicted. He's going to lead off with the Terminus, and Josh says, all right, that's fine.
He's like, I don't have cards.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, it's important now. I love how, like, the first 10 turns, you're just like, yeah, put them at the bottom of your deck. The second 10 turns, you're like,
yeah, you're trying
how
to,
do I stack
yeah, you're trying to figure out where they are,
yeah,
everything. How many cards do I have left in my deck? So this is going to be the third last draw.
And there's the Drown Yard.
Ah, yes.
Sweet, beautiful Drown Yard. Josh is just going, that cannot be. Can we see Josh's face real quick? Oh, man,
yeah.
He does not look happy, a little
agony.
sick. He's been on a boat for a while, seems a little seasick.
So now we're going to see the Grotto get tapped on with some other lands here. There's your Drown Yard activation. There goes Aurelia. So that one's gone.
What is that other card? It's a promo. Is that the Restoration Angel promo?
I believe it is,
okay.
yes.
I'm really bad at promos.
I was bad at them. I've gotten quite good at them.
Yeah. Week in, week out.
Yes. As we're going to see Azorius Charm get cycled here. Josh taking through his deck a little bit. Rewind the draw step. See if he ever wants to cash in that Sphinx's Revelation that he does have in his hand. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge... It doesn't have to be a Revelation for 9.
No.
It can be a mini Revelation. With Rewind to protect it. But he's not going to do that yet. He's going to draw a Holophon for the turn.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, he does not have many cards left in his library. This game has been going for a very long time. His opponent has still not...
Mage. Pillar of Flame going upstairs. So he's trying to work on that life total.
This just reminds me of like that, and I thought it was gonna go the other way, but this is like the old poster with the cat just hanging onto the tree.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Josh was just gonna make a heyday with Chris, but this is impressive, and it all came down to that turn that Chris got to rev. If he did not get that rev, this game was all but over. But a little bit greedy, blocking that Thrag Tusk. Just play tight. That's all you can say about situations like this.
So one of the things that you normally see in these split red flash decks, and very akin to the Pro Tour Montreal list that Jerry Thompson made the top 8 with, is you saw the Boros Reckoner Harvest Pyre combo, and it gave you that sense of inevitability. When a game went long like this, you could find your Boros Reckoner, your Harvest Pyre, and be able to combo to deal a large amount of damage. 22 was nothing at that point.
Yeah.
With the updates to this list, and Jonathan Joe played this list to a top 4 last weekend when we were in Kansas City, and you see Josh playing it now, starting off 2-0 in this tournament. What you don't find is that combo of Harvest Pyre and Boros Reckoner, and you kind of see where it kind of hurts now not to have it.
Well, I don't really understand how this version came to be. I don't know what it's better against. Like, I don't know the advantages to playing it. I honestly don't. Aurelia is a fine Magic card and it's good, but like Boros Reckoner is one of the most... Oh wow, Bonfire. We got another Bonfire.
So we do see a Miracled Bonfire here, but that is going to be rewound here by Josh.
So he gets to put it back on top of his library?
Not quite.
That's not how it works?
Not quite, no. It's not Memory Lapse. Thank goodness, because that card's miserable to play against.
So do you Bonfire lethal, or do you keep on that Drown Yard and do both?
Oh, well, I mean, he Bonfired it all the way up.
I feel like that might have been a mistake. Unless it was lethal, and I don't know if it was lethal. X was 15. So
yeah,
X
was 15, so it was a lethal Bonfire, yes. As we're going to see a Sphinx's Revelation here from Josh. He's going to draw a couple of cards here on the end step. Probably just hope to find a little bit more counter magic to solidify this game, and Searing Spear is going to go upstairs. So it's going to knock Chris down to 19.
No Boros Charms, right?
No Boros Charms here in the main deck, and taking the sideboard, not going to find any there either. So
now, did he put an Aurelia on the bottom? No, both of them are gone.
Yeah, both are in the graveyard.
Yeah.
One was milled via Nephalia Drown Yard, the other one died via Supreme Verdict, I believe. As Chris does draw a forest. And Chris says, I want to know how many cards are left in your deck, because I think I have to try to get you with Nephalia Drown Yard, and there are not very many. We'll get a count here from our spotter at the table to see exactly how many there are. It looked like we were underneath 10, Brad.
Yeah, it was underneath 10, and we have 2 verdicts. We almost have, we have Fog, Attack, fog, mill, attack, fog, mill, mill. So this game's wrapped up unless Josh can find 14 points of burn in the next couple turns.
So here come the Restoration Angel. You're going to see an Alchemist Refuge activation. You are going to see a Supreme Verdict take care of these guys. So away those go. Josh does just pass the turn back. You're going to see Nephalia Drawnyard activation here from Chris. Going to turn over 3 cards.
That drops him down to 5 cards.
You see Josh counting his library, and Josh might come to the same conclusion I think we're coming to, and he does pack it up as he realizes he cannot do the last 14 points of damage. So Chris Galiano does win game 1 with the Brewer's Brew.
Woo, with the Havens.
5-color Haven up a game.
Yeah, and his sideboard, I think, gets very good because we get Abundant Growth just to help cycle to the more powerful spells, get through the deck a little bit. I don't know if he boards it in, but I'm pretty sure since he does get Slaughter Games, and Slaughter Games is going to be huge in this matchup. You get to take away Josh's Sphinx's Revelations. The second one will be able to take the Aurelias that he's already seen. He didn't see any Boros Reckoners, so he knows not to play around that. But being able to fight against your opponent's counter magic using that, you know, you can strip any of the counter magics to resolve your big spells. We also have 2 Syncopates that'll probably come in as well. For the slower spells like Bonfire and things like that. What do you think Josh is doing over here?
As far as what Josh wants to accomplish here, I mean, he's just going to want to board, and this is a very control matchup. So, you know, cards that he can bring in here, I think the 2 big ones are 2 copies of Assemble the Legion. A card that's very difficult for Chris to be able to remove, makes those Supreme Verdict those tournaments look very poor, and, you know, can just win the game straight up with that card. I don't think we have... Does Chris have a good way of getting those off of the table?
Well, I do believe that Sylvan Primordial says non-creature, right?
That's true, so that can
so
blow
we
it up.
still can blow it up.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. You're also going to find 2 copies of Dispel to be able to win that Sphinx's Revelation War. 2 copies of Detention Sphere from Josh in case he wants to bring those in to take care of the aforementioned Sphinx's Primordials. And then he does have a copy of Angel Serenity along with 2 Negates. So he can board into more counter magic, which looks very, very good against Chris's deck. It's just about using the counter magic correctly, which I think he did incorrectly that game.
He just made that one blunder. He didn't want to go to 11. He wanted to get value. So I'm going to have to go back to Evan this week. I'm just be like, buddy, we saw Verdant Haven win on camera.
At least a game.
At least a game, yeah. It's going to be tough to power through this 5-color control deck in 18 minutes, too.
Yeah, I mean, time is certainly of the essence right now. It's something that I bring up a little bit when I'm casting. Sometimes too often, I would say. But, you know, time is something where now, you know, the first game took about 30 minutes, and neither of these decks win very quickly.
No,
especially when you don't have Boros Reckoner in your deck.
Especially if you don't have Sphinx's Revelation in your deck.
Yeah.
After Chris could potentially Slaughter Games it.
Yeah.
I actually like the setup of Chris's deck in this matchup. Blue-White-Red has a difficult time dealing with unexpected decks. Like any rogue deck in the format, he has a good angle because Blue-White-Red's cards in the deck are low impact except for Sphinx's Revelation and just specifically targeting certain things that people are playing.
Sure.
Just attacking the metagame straight on, and, you know, obviously 5-color Haven is not something that we've been expecting.
Are you sure?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I'm
bold.
100% sure.
Bold, but I appreciate the boldness. As you see, Josh and Chris are going to be shuffling up here for game 2.
Yeah.
If you are just joining us, Cedric Phillips, Brad Nelson here in the booth for you guys. Star City Games Open Series has made its trip on the way down to Orlando, Florida. Sunny, beautiful Orlando. If you guys do want to join in the conversation with us, at SCG Live, hashtag SCGORL. You can join in and tweet with Brad and I. I got my phone with me. Brad, you got your phone with you?
I do.
You accepting all tweets right now?
I haven't looked at it at all.
All right, well, we are taking all tweets.
I am a professional, and I don't play.
Well, I am not. And if you tweet at me right now, I will look at it as I'm checking my phone right now for tweets at all the time. I'm looking at a tweet right now. I think Arcana... Oh, 3-4s. You said Aurelia was the best 3-4, I believe?
What do they have?
Well, Mildy_Vane has a word for you. Arcanus the Omnipotent. Hero of Bladehold.
That's really good.
Restoration Angel.
No.
Wow. And Teferi, Mage of Zalfir.
Okay, yeah, Teferi crushes it.
3-4. Couple 3-4s, boys.
Do you know... Okay. Whenever I'm doing commentary,
yeah,
I just want to boil some people at home. I just want them to be like, Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, you just want to get them revved up on the Twitter sphere? That's fair. That's fair.
It's fun.
People can get revved up a little bit. And
Just say the most polarizing things. Just be like, yeah, that's the best thing on the planet.
Yeah, if you want to put Brad in his place, it's not hard to do.
Yes.
Brad, your Twitter is, of course, FFF Freak. How many F's?
No, it's FF Freak.
FF Freak, MTG.
Yes.
So if you want to tweet with Brad,
you can send me
it's
as
not hard
much
to
as
do.
you want. Yeah.
Tell Brad how wrong he is about the 3/4s.
Well, I mean,
Teferi, man, didn't you cast Teferi back in the day?
yes, I've cast many Teferis.
That's what I
Teferi is
thought.
like my favorite creature of all time.
good
It's like the
creature.
most unfair card ever. Like, for someone that's never played with it, when you explain what that card did, it feels like cheating. It's like, all right, so once it's in play, your opponent can't cast anything except sorceries.
Yeah.
Counter spells can't go on the stack. And if you want, at the end of the turn, you can play creatures that they can't counter. And then you untap.
It was one heck of a Magic card.
It was unfair.
I would like to see that card. I don't know what world that card would be worth like reprinting or anything. I wish
None.
maybe it was like a little bit better in Modern or something. That card was just
Do you know
awesome.
what they found out? That if you cast a card with haste that does something just on its own, people love it.
Yeah. I mean, I like that card a lot. Not much of a blue player, obviously, but Teferi, I did play the old Pickles deck a little while, and that card was in there. I tried to play Mystic Teachings, failed.
Failed
It's not
miserably.
really- no,
I
no,
played a
it's
lot
speed.
of block teachings.
Wasn't really for me. That was I was more trying to beat Jerry than be with him then.
Well, you've been doing that for years.
Yeah, I've been trying to do it my
How
entire
has that
life.
been working for you?
Well, it's up and down. I have one lifetime win over Jerry Sanction to like 7 losses. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
I've accepted it.
I've accepted that the decks that
Grumble
Jerry plays are the decks that I can't really beat. That's okay with me. Because there are other opponents besides Jerry Thompson in the world. Even though Jerry doesn't know that.
All right, so Chris did go down to 6, but we do see a Farseek, so hopefully his mana can develop. All right, yeah, there we go.
That is a Stafford that you cannot play on turn
Resolves.
2. So we're gonna have to fix that. And now, Josh is working with a little more information right now. He's gonna write down Stafford on a sheet of paper.
It's like we're playing what's the set? Unhinged.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah,
Next, he should just start doing that. It's coming.
It's coming. I promise. He's gonna search for a Hallowed Fountain. Josh is gonna untap and draw Sphinx Revelation for the turn. And he's gonna play a Hallowed Fountain and just pass the turn back.
All right, so on Chris's turn, he's going to want more acceleration. We do see an extra land, but does he have anything extremely powerful? I see a red-white. What is that card in his hand? It looks like a red-white. Oh, it's Slaughter Games. We got a Slaughter
Yeah,
Games.
we have Slaughter Games, folks. We have Slaughter Games that we're far from casting. Shimmering Grotto will help.
Shimmering would help, but I wonder why we went for that. Ooh.
Oh, well, Verdhaven plus Shimmering Grotto. The old 1-2 punch.
And that is, we got it.
Yeah, the old 1-2 punch. It's easy to do now. And he gets 2 life. You guys called this card unplayable?
I mean, it is.
We're going to have to take a look at those set reviews, maybe, moving forward.
We're going to have to correct some things. We're going to have to get the Cedric
fly some people
seal of
out to
approval.
Roanoke now, as we're going to see Krista draw a Kessig Wolf run for the turn.
If you jump on my TikTok, I will cut you.
Wow, cut has been announced. I
You're
don't
gonna
want to
take my
I do not want to
stat
bleed.
reviews?
I do not want to bleed on or off camera. As Chris is going to tap some mana here, he could cast that Staffin in, but it looks like we're going to see Slaughter Games, my friend.
All right, this is the rule against control decks. Get the games. Like, that's what you have to do. You have to put that Slaughter Games into play, take those Sphinx's Revelations before they just go counterspell cast it for a couple. I'm surprised that Josh didn't. Ooh, what?
He names Counterflux. Brad, he disagrees with you, and I got a feeling that you disagree with him.
Well, do you see that? Okay, we can go results-oriented thinking. He has 2 Sphinx's Reps in his
Okay,
hand.
if you want to be the results-oriented man, we can do that.
We can go non and say Counterflux can't win the game on its own. And he showed you Counterflux and Rewind. So, like, we're just a coin flip. But look at him. He's even pulling the Sphinxes together, being like, I'm protecting my precious Revelations. Plus, there's more Rebs than there are anything else. So,
A little bit surprised with that name.
yeah. But now,
all threats have a green light now for the most part. He only has to worry about Essence Scatter and the old Rewind sound. So that's there's a lot of thinking.
And
there.
we get to counter the enchantment with our Primordial in hand.
Get to take care of the Assembled Legion.
And we get a Forest.
Yeah.
But yeah, those Sphinxes in hand are going to be very good. I was even surprised. Well, I was shocked that Josh didn't actually just respond to the Slaughter games with Sphinx for 1.
Yeah, it's just cycling one of them.
Yeah, I mean, what does he want to... He's like, all right, my opponent was at 40 last game. I got to start the beats now. I guess that is a good decision. That one card's probably not going to do anything where... Oh, he's just going to think twice.
He's going to flashback, think twice. Going to get himself a new card. Draw Sulphur Falls. Draws an island for the turn. Let's see if he's willing to slam down the Assembly Legion on the main phase right now.
I mean, if you board it in, you got to slam it, right?
And you see him counting the mana for Chris, and he's saying, okay, well, Sylvan Primordial is pretty annoying, and he is just going to slam it down and dare Chris to have it.
We need a land. Come on, Chris, we need a land.
That! He draws!
I don't know. Don't slow roll us.
Yes! Harbor.
Yes!
So will he cast it, or will he take the time to get Staff of Nin into play?
Oh no, he has perfect information. There's an Essence Scatter in play. Or there's an Essence Scatter in hand.
Yeah.
We have perfect information. Let's
6,
cast a
7,
fatty.
Bang! Sylvan Primordial takes care of the Assemble the Legion, and he does even get to search up a forest now. He'll search for a Temple Garden and pass the turn back. So Assemble the Legion bites dust. Do. Another enchantment bites dust.
Oh man, and now we got a 6/8 reach. That Restoration Angel's not going to do anything. We do have an Angel of Serenity that can come down, but I don't think you want to put a Sylvan underneath that.
Probably not, as he's just going to play Glacial Fortress and pass the turn back. So Chris does have a 6/8 that's looking to attack here.
Yeah, I don't think Josh wrote it up dealing with the 6/8s. I think he didn't want them to resolve.
Yeah, that would be the plan, yeah. He was
so-
hoping that Chris just didn't have one or didn't have the 7th land or what have you. But he had them both, and here comes Sylvan Primordial into the red zone. Didn't think I'd be saying that on cast today.
Yeah, I also did not think that I was going to see Shimmering Grotto cast a Slaughter games. But, like, that's what happens at these tournaments. They're awesome.
So now we see Chris tapping some mana here. Maybe it is Staff of Nin time.
Yes.
And it is. Is that going to resolve?
Lesai.
Josh Martinez looks like he's in a lot of trouble right now.
Is he just going to draw 1, try to hit that negate?
Well, the staff resolves. Chris plays a Temple Guard, and he does pass the turn back. All right, Josh, you are in a sticky situation that you probably did not draw up before you came to this tournament. Staffing in, Sylvan Primordial.
Oh, yeah. Before the tournament, you're like, all right, hypothetical. If your opponent attacks with Sylvan Primordial and just plays Staffing in, what do you do? And they're like, what? What round is this? Round 1?
Yeah, what hypothetical are you in?
How old is my opponent?
Yeah, am I in an 8-man side of that? No, you're under camera. 2-0, down a game.
Taking 1.
Yeah, now you're taking 1 from Staffing in. Chris is going to untap. He's going to draw not 1, but 2 cards.
He was so confident it was going to resolve, he just showed it to you on turn 2. It didn't matter.
Yeah, Sun Petal Grove, and I think the Defy Drown Yard is the other card that's drawn here for Chris. And here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. Oh, wow.
Oh, don't stop.
That's the only parts of the lyrics I know. I don't know the song very well. It's not poppy enough.
Donson and Dixon and all his reindeer.
Those aren't names of reindeer.
I don't know them. I didn't start the song,
You're better
sir.
off just not guessing.
No, the guy
said Donson
and Dixon.
and Dixon? How about Verdant Haven? How about that? We'll act like that never happened. As Verdant Haven's going to go on a Temple Garden, Chris is going to gain 2 more life, and we'll see if Santa Claus is going to come down Santa Claus later. Is he scared of the Azorius charm? Can't
what?
What
are you going to... Well, I wouldn't pump first.
He does pump first. Wow. And he just takes it. Wow.
Wait,
no.
how much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're at 2.
All right, Revelation.
All right, we're back up to 6. We got to find an answer. I mean, what's the card you cut in this matchup? Azorius charm. Like, I would not play around that.
So Revelation for 4 by Josh. Josh draws a card. He draws Sulphur Falls.
Oh, we know we have Angel.
His head.
We need Angel, but like poke with.
Well, I mean, Wolf Run gives Trample.
Well, yeah, no, he has Angel Serenity.
Okay.
That has to take care of it this turn. And we do have that Staff of Nin, so that also can just deal lethal damage here.
Angel Serenity humps that. So that's going to eat that. Is he going to eat his own Restoration Angel?
Oh, just to play around Supreme Verdict?
Yeah.
Nah, you want
he's not going to. He's going to pass the turn back. Staff is going to ping Josh at the end of turn. And Brad, I think the last card in Chris's hand is Bonfire the Dam.
No way.
And if that is the case, as Chris is going to draw 1 card, he draws a 2nd card, and that is a red. That is a red. You see him counting his mana. That is a red card. Sylvan Primordial
Just can't get it out.
Bonfire of the Damned, and a hand is being extended. Chris Galiano, 5-color Haven. Take that, Evan Irwin. Take that, Brad Nelson. Vernon Haven can get the job done and just win. He wins 2-0 over Josh Martinez playing blue, white, red, flash. Fan yourself down, boys and girls, because it is hot in here. Bonfire of the Damned, take it down.
That is beautiful to see. I don't know. The deck is sweet. Like, the only thing I want to complain about is some of the sideboard cards and not having Cavern, but like the general idea of this deck, I think this could be something. Like, it's
big mana. I was wondering if we were going to see big mana decks. We've seen Omniscience decks. We've seen, what is that double tutor? Increasing Ambition, I believe the name of it is.
Yes.
We've seen decks like that in the past from Ali Antrazi or Travis Lewis of the world trying to go super over the top of the opponent. And this is just another deck that kind of fits in that wheelhouse of just trying to go big as fast as you can.
I think this is the biggest you want to get to.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to